Why do some lake homes sit for months and others sell fast? That is a great question. Let's just jump right into it. Have you ever noticed how some lake homes in the Northwoods sell fast and others will sit for months? Well, it's not random, and most sellers get this wrong. So some of the problems that I see with this is that sellers will just blame the market. And, there's more than just, market trends. There's buyer profiles. There's, understanding what's happening, and it does change. Markets do change, but that isn't just the only factor as to why your home isn't selling, and we'll dive deeper into that. I have also seen, buyers blame timing, as far as with interest rates, my home won't sell because the interest rates are wrong or things like that. A lot of these people are cash buyers. So, interest rates, yes, they understand them. There are people that are getting loans. But a lot of these newer trends of people coming in and buying these lake homes are, cash buyers. So the interest rates aren't as overly effective on that, concept. The problem that I'll see is a lot of sellers, they'll just blame the market, or the timing of the market. Or they'll say, the interest rates are too high, or they just don't understand the controllable factors that are out there. This is common. This idea of that maybe they timed it wrong, or they came in and put their home on the wrong time of the year, or things are just weird with the market. So this is stuff that I see, and a lot of sellers, they'll think that their property doesn't sell. It's just because of the market. The truth is that there's just far more specific factors in mind, as what's causing their home not to sell. The first thing that I'll see is pricing. A lot of people, they'll price it too high when they come out of the door, just way too high, testing the market, and that works against everybody. I can tell you that 100%. Let me give you a little insight. Number one, pricing. Pricing is the number one reason your property sits. People will test the market. They'll put it on, they'll put it on way too high of a price, just trying to see what they can get. And this absolutely works against you. So something to try to avoid is overpricing right when you get out. It is an absolute momentum killer. You do something like that, you'll lose momentum right out of the door. Second thing is presentation. That can be the photos, the condition the home's in, the shoreline, what you have there. So what happens is most people are looking at all these photos and pictures and imagery before they come out here. So they have their mindset on a property ahead of time. So that's another thing, is the presentation is key to help get proper momentum with your home at the very beginning. Number one is pricing. The second one is the presentation. 3, lake and property positioning. Not all lakes are positioned equally. So you have to remember that not all properties are equal. Not all lakes are equal. It must be marketed correctly to the price that you're putting on your home. If the value of the lake and land is not communicated properly, the buyers will not perceive the value and they will not pay for it. So that is very important. I've seen properties sit for months, but once pricing and presentation has been adjusted, they start getting attention and sell. Properties that sell quickly aren't lucky. They're positioned properly from the very beginning, and that's why they get the attention and sell quickly. You have to remember, when pricing, strategy, and presentation are all aligned, that's when you get the quick results, and that's when you see momentum and movement on your property. Keep that in mind when you're getting ready to sell your home. That's probably one of the best tricks. If you're thinking about selling your property and you want to avoid it sitting on the market for months, feel free to give me a call. My phone number is easy. It's right here in the description. Just give me a call. I'll be happy to come over and walk you through what that looks like for your property.